Hello, Cancer. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite, if you want to see that. For the supportive cards, the Angel Answer cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Excuse me. Alright, I'm going to start with couples. I did the other person first for Pisces, too. Interesting. Excuse me. Now for Cancer, alright, now, there seems to be a lot of patience going on here, a lot of waiting. You're in a position of temperance, which means you're waiting. You're building your strength for something here. That seems to be one of the things. Now, that seems to be what's keeping the situation where it is, which is very connected to the King of Pentacles for what's happening for you. These are both on your side. This is where you're This is where you're standing. This is what's holding the situation where it currently is and not allowing it to move forward. Which I feel like you're very secure in where you're standing right now. The question is, and these seem to be like, this seems to be all on its own. What's holding your partner back, or where they currently are, is they're going through memories, rehashing something. And they're trying to garner more information, but they're using the past as that place to garner that information. I don't feel like they're looking for new information. They're looking to remember how something went before and base a new situation off of old information. Which makes me a little leery. It might be outdated information. I feel like you should be aware of this. In the sense of like that might be one of the reasons you're watching this, to realize that your partner seems to be evaluating a situation based on the past, but there's new changes to this situation that aren't being considered because all the information your partner is garnering is from the past. This also seems to be what sets them into motion. And I'm getting also, like, these seem to be separate. So it's setting them off to do something, but I feel like they're moving in the position of love here, which means what they're doing out of love because they feel like it's right, but everything they're doing is based on past influences. Okay. The interesting thing is, whatever they're doing, that seems to be the most active part of this. I feel like what they're trying to do is move on from a situation. It's taking them a while to look at the past. They're completely evaluating it on what they see in the past, though. They're not taking on new information. What they're doing is they're rehashing old information and treating it as if it's more information. I don't feel like this is working well, though. But it is getting them the Ace of Rods. They are moving on from it. And you're seeing this, the World card here on your side, which means it's a completion of a situation. I do feel like your partner's moving on from this out of love. But I feel like that's the whole point, is why they're bringing these two cards together. The Queen of Cups on your partner's side, which don't get caught up in the gender. But the World is on your side to realize the situation is moving on. It is ending. But the reason it is ending is the love your partner has for you. Okay, the love your partner has for you. It's not the information, because they're not growing with the new information like they should be. Instead of growing with the new information, they're seeing the situation for what it was. They seem to be more, instead of healing from it, they seem to be accepting it. And I feel like this might affect you in the future. You might want to be aware of this. But they are moving on from it. You're moving on from it anyway. You got the World on your side. Whatever the situation is, you're content and you've completed it. You're moving on. Time for a new cycle. Moving forward. Now, the Queen of Swords, swords are air. It's communication or it's mental activity. Now, I feel like for you, it's mental activity, and I also feel like you're a little conflicted. Because you're watching your partner, and you're seeing things go on with them. And I feel like you're very strong with where you're standing. And you see the situation a certain way, and you're not willing to go a different direction with it. You're seeing the situation for what you've gone through, and you're not bending on it. Not that you should or shouldn't. I'm just saying that you're not. But I feel like you're also very conflicted about where the situation is as well. That's the Five of Rods, that's where you're standing. That's how you're viewing your partner, like you're conflicted with what's going on. But the Queen of Swords, especially when it's a mental aspect, she stands her ground. She knows how she feels, and she's staying right there. I feel like there might be a little anger energy here. Well, you got the Five of Rods here, but you might be a little bit angry and conflicted, but I'm not feeling it go towards your partner. I'm feeling like it's something that's kind of smoldering inside of you. Now, whatever's going on with your partner, I feel like they're aware of your emotions, but that's where the Hanged Man comes in on their side, where they're aware of what's going on, but I feel like the way they're looking at it, they're observing and reacting as you allow. They're involved. Okay, the Hangman, you know how the Hangman's just they're hanging there. The Hangman is dependent on people to feed, bring water, to take care of that person. Like, the Hangman can't go anywhere. They're stuck in a certain spot. So if they hear anything, or if they speak to anybody, or if they get any type of food, anything like that, it's all about what's brought to them. If they can't communicate, it's because people have walked away from them and they can't make them talk, that type of thing. So when they're viewing you, I feel like when it comes to whatever the situation is, they're aware of how you feel, and because of it, they feel like it's completely in your court when and if you talk about what the situation is. And even though you're looking at the situation like you're done with it, your emotions are still there a little bit. Okay, now where are we going? Because even though they're not talking, or even though they feel like they're kind of stuck there and they're dependent on you to make decisions on how to communicate, if you're going to communicate, things like that, I'm also noticing they're trying to be as very giving as possible, and they're trying to just recover from the situation. They also, I feel like this is also reminiscent of them pulling back. The giving seems to be like, I feel like they're trying to give you space. They're trying to give you the time to do what you need to do with whatever's going on. And they're just kind of enjoying your company when they can, without trying to force a conversation. And it's creating a healing effect for them, because you're still together. But the situation seems to be like, the way they're recovering from it is they're trying to give you what they feel you want, and they're trying to make it better in that sense. All right, what's going on over here? Now, I am seeing also what makes things better is the Three of Cups on their side, which is community. I'm also noticing, though, that you're kind of connected with this. So if they're involved in a community effort, or like hanging out with other people, I feel like you're there, or they're people you know, or you're comfortable with. And you have the Hermit with the meditation brings answers. These cards, I feel like you're going within to try to really assess what's going on. I feel like even though you've kind of moved on from the situation, like you're not looking to talk about it or hash it out, because I feel like you've already hashed it out a few times by this point. If this reading's sitting with you, I feel like you've already hashed it out a few times, and you've moved on from that. You're done. You're looking to complete it. Part of how you're completing this is you're going through like how you feel. And even though you know how you feel, you're looking to finish it off. The world also, to me, makes me feel like you're looking to move on from it. Whatever the situation is, you're like, done is done. I know how I feel. I'm not interested in another dead-end conversation. It's done. Like, I feel like that's how you're looking at it. And it's just you as the Hermit here. like I do feel like these feelings are going to sink in a little deeper. I don't feel like the feelings are going to disappear. But the situation, you're done with it. You're feeling like you're done with the situation. You're done. And it's this community connection that's helping you move on from it. Because you're not looking to deal with the situation anymore. Whatever the situation is, you're finished dealing with it. And you're moving on. And the social connections, you're also using that like to be... I feel like you and your partner are connected in some social sense. And you're using this to be close to your partner without having to deal with that situation, so that situation doesn't come up, and you're moving on from it. And I feel like your partner's honoring that. You've decided you don't want to talk about it anymore, and they're giving that to you in the sense of like they're not pushing it, and things are getting better because of it. That's what's coming up in the cards now. Whatever it was, I feel like you've talked it to death, and it's just not going anywhere, and you're sick of talking about it, and that's why. That's whatever the situation was. I feel like you're almost realizing your partner's not moving their thought pattern, and you might be realizing or questioning, maybe that's why you're seeing this, is to realize anytime they get new information, it's just because they're rehashing old information and treating it as new information. I don't feel like real new information is really coming in, so they're not seeing a new possibility in the situation. They just keep rehashing the old and just reliving memories and pulling more pieces out of memories. And that's another reason you don't want to rehash it again. It does work out because I feel like you move on and you're more centered on a social connection with your partner just so you can move on from this. Because, again, with you, you're done with this situation. Alright. Alright, so that's for the couples for Cancer. Let's do singles. Single Cancers. What messages do we have for single Cancers? Alright. Alright, I did get a flip card here, so. Single Cancers. Excuse me. 3 of Cups, 7 of Cups. 3 of Cups is where you're standing. 7 of Cups is where your mind is. Which seems like you're all about the possibilities. Very much about possibilities. Like your mind is thinking about all the possibilities. You're standing in a place where you're enjoying social times, it seems, where you are. So you're in a spot where you have a lot open to you is where I'm getting this from. Now, the next card I'm drawn to is the Environment card, the Strength card. But I'm thinking this is just because the situation is a good situation. Like, I don't feel like there's anything really negative going on around you. And whatever's going on, it seems like it's going... But whatever the situation is you're a part of, seems like it's a stable situation. Something that may last into the winter. I'm getting mountains and I'm getting snow for some reason with the Environment. Which is really odd because there's palm trees on this card. But so that's strange. So maybe that hits for somebody. Now, I feel like one of the reasons the Environment is very strong, I feel like that's saying that nothing is lost if you want to wait. And I feel like you're also looking at the situation. The High Priestess is your overall energy. I feel that can be a very patient card. That's somebody who can move forward as necessary. That's somebody who thinks things out. That's somebody who's looking out for the situation, like what should happen. What's the right thing to go on here? This is somebody who looks at something like, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. Anything worth getting is worth waiting for. Like this is a very mature, honest look at a situation. The High Priestess card is more about, it's a very caring card. It's more about, especially in the love reading, I'm looking out for myself, but also who I'm attracting, because I'm not about just myself in a relationship. I want somebody who, like, we are one, like, we look out for each other thing. And I feel like you got possibilities around you. And you've been looking at these possibilities for a while. You have the Eight of Pentacles here. So I feel like you've been in this position for a while. And you seem to be like, you know what? Not in a rush. I think Scorpio was in this a few months back, I think. So maybe it's a water sign thing at the moment. There's no rush. I'm not looking to get my emotions caught up in somebody real quickly. Especially since I seem to know that the longer I'm with somebody, the deeper that connection gets. So I want to make sure that, like, if I'm going to start seriously seeing somebody, that it's somebody I not only am attracted to, somebody I actually like, somebody who I feel has best interest out for myself, for them, and for, others around them. Like, you're looking for something specific is what it seems like here. You have specific... Some of you might have, like, certain type of lifestyle, maybe it's an athletic lifestyle, things like that you want this person to fit. And you're just like, you know what? I'm looking for somebody for the rest of my life. I don't see the need to rush. It's kind of like somebody made the point to me once about eye care. There's certain type of eye care professionals or situations where you can be in and out within an hour. You can just show right up and be in and out in an hour. Somebody made the point to me once, like, something as important as your eyes, do you just want to run in and out in an hour and just have what you want? Like, do you want that rushed? Do you really want something that important rushed? And I feel like that's how you're viewing this, is like, something like this, I don't want rushed. I want to find the one I'm really interested in. I want, like, a great life. I don't want just, go out there, who am I attracted to, and just run with it. I don't want to take a chance. I want to find out who matches me. I want the attraction. I want the good person. I want somebody who looks out for others. I want somebody I can be cared for by, and cared for. I'm looking for the give and take here. There's a very all-encompassing feel here. Like, you're looking for, like, a big thing. Like, it's almost like it's feeling very infinity for me. You're trying to balance things out. You want something that's going to last. And there may be reasons you're looking for this, in the sense that in the past you've thought, you've had best intentions for certain people, and those things fell through, but maybe you thought in the long run, maybe it's a good thing those things fell through. And it might be how you're looking at it. Okay. Going into the future, you have Justice, and you have the Nine, is it the Nine? Yeah, the Nine of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. Now, when that pops in, it's at the bottom of the deck, which means there's a lot behind it. Sorry. Guys! Yeah, we're going to bark again. Guys, come on! One second. Okay, so you're going into the future here, and you got the Nine of Cups at the bottom of your deck, which means everything seems to be, when it's at the bottom of the deck, it feels like there's a lot backing this, so you feel very comfortable. I feel like with the Justice, it seems to be mirroring the High Priestess card, like the two of these seem to be working together. Like, you know what? I'm very happy with my life. I feel like you're very happy being single. It's not that you're not looking, but you're feeling very comfortable in what you're doing and the things you're involved in, and you feel the need to be a part of something at this point. And you're feeling more comfortable with being single, and like, you know what? I'll find the right one sooner or later. I don't have a rush. There's just no rush feeling here. And that seems to be more in the future. Because before I get to the end result here, I am noticing where you're currently standing is the Hanged Man with the Seven of Rods, which means you're feeling like, when this starts off, you're feeling like you're not finding what you want, but you're looking for it, and you're trying to find it, and it's a little stressful. So when you start off this reading, you might be looking for that, and not finding what you want, and feeling like, you know what, is it really out there? Although you're kind of also in that same boat. Like, one of the reasons you're having a hard time finding it is because you're not going to settle for just a good possibility or just roll the dice and see how it goes. There's something specific you're looking for. But as you go forward in the future, you feel more comfortable with your standing on this. I feel like in the beginning you have this, well, in the beginning of this reading, like wherever this hits you, you're kind of like getting a little like, you know, I've been looking for a while, I'd really like somebody in my life. And you're kind of persevering through the stress of that, but you're starting to feel the stress like I'd really like somebody there. But as you go on a little farther, a few days, maybe a week or so, you're not finding what you're looking for still, but you're enjoying social times, you're enjoying your life, and you're feeling very good about how this is balancing out. Like, you know what, I'm okay being single. It'll happen when it needs to. I don't want to just jump into something or take a chance or just roll the dice. I want to find something specific, and I'm very dedicated to that, and life is good, and I plan to keep it good. And that's one of the ways I'm going to keep it good. Especially as your final outcome is the Hierophant with the Hermit. The Hierophant is somebody who pretty much stays on track. That's somebody who's very accustomed to tradition. And the Hermit is somebody looking for answers. Now, I feel like you're sticking with what you want, but you're looking a little closer. I feel like you're looking at the situation, at the end of this situation, at the end of this reading, wherever this heads for you, I feel like you're questioning, like, am I being too stringent? Am I being a little bit too, you know, what I'm looking for? Is that really, like, am I being realistic? Do I have too many specifics on here? Maybe I should get a little bit more lax in the sense of, like, I want a good person who cares about me, and then maybe go from there to see if the attraction's there. Or maybe you're kind of going at it this way. I want to find somebody I'm attracted to, but they don't have to have everything, but they have to be somebody I trust and I feel like they have good intentions. I feel like you might be rehashing what you really want, because ironically, even though you're comfortable at this part here in the future with how things are working out, I feel like you revisit it again and you start to question, like, alright, yeah, I'm comfortable, and there are certain things I want, but am I being a little bit too specific? Like, am I asking for, like, a red-haired person with a certain physique that has a certain income that wants to live where I want to live? Like, or can I kind of just whittle that down? Is that maybe too specific? And I just want somebody I find attractive that has similar goals and is caring about me as much as I am them. And can I just build from there? Like, I feel like in the beginning, you might be a little bit more, like, defined about, like, I want this person to like rugby, and I want them to have career goals. And then with those career goals, I think I'm down, like, the road, like, 5-10 years, maybe a family then. This might be the original, but then you're like, you know what? Maybe I just need somebody who's active, and then somebody who is willing to work with me on the rest of it. As long as the rest of this, as long as they're active and we can work out the rest, maybe I don't need it as tightly defined as I originally was looking. Like, I'm feeling like at the end here, you're looking at what you have been looking for, and you're like, you know what? Yes, I do like this. Like, I do this. So, just for example, maybe I like red-haired people with a certain physique. Maybe that's what I'm really attracted to. But you know what? Maybe that's not what I need. I just need somebody I'm attracted to. Like, they don't have to be that specific thing. If they have black hair and a physique that I'm usually not attracted to, but I still feel it for them, who cares? Like, I don't need that exact model. I just need somebody I'm attracted to. Maybe they're changing it that way. Things like that. Because at the end, I feel like you're reevaluating. You're questioning, like, am I being too stringent? But then there's other things like, you know what? They have to be a good person. I definitely don't want a selfish person. So, and you might be changing that instead of, like, saying I don't want a selfish person. I want somebody who's caring but has boundaries. Somebody who's giving but not over-giving. Like, somebody who'll help but not be a doormat. Things like that. I feel like you're kind of reevaluating here at the end. Being the single Cancer read, though, I am seeing single through the whole way here. I'm not seeing that changing. But I also feel like you're developing your thoughts about what you want. And possibilities are around you. I just feel like you're not willing to go for something that's not really matching what you truly want. and you're reevaluating your goals or what you're looking for in a partner, I feel like if you're looking at it like you might be a little too stringent or a little too defined, that's completely your business if you are or not. That's how the energy is coming through. So you may feel like, I may have specific things, but I'm going to get those specific things. And if you feel good with that, you should stick with that. I feel like for a lot of you who are connecting with this reading, though, you're looking at it in the sense of like you're questioning, am I being a little bit too stringent on what I want? Do I have room for movement here that I'm personally comfortable with? And you're going to, because I feel like this whole thing's about your evolving feeling about what you want in your life. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up here. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.